Have you ever paused to wonder why your relationship with a narcissist always felt like it was bound to unravel? It's as if you were trapped in a labyrinth of manipulation, deception, and selfishness, only to awaken one day to a profound realization: you were never meant to stay. But what if I told you that your role in their life was intentional, divinely orchestrated? That you were placed there, not as a permanent piece of their puzzle, but as a lesson they desperately needed to learn. Hold on to that thought, because the truth is far more compelling than you might think. Today, we'll explore a powerful truth. Your presence in a narcissist's life was no accident. You weren't there to settle into their chaos forever. You were sent to disrupt it. You were a catalyst, a mirror, and most importantly, a lesson they weren't prepared for. If this resonates with you, if you find yourself nodding as you reflect on your own experience, take a moment to pause, breathe, and remember, you're not alone in this journey. This is a safe space to unpack the complexity of narcissistic relationships and reclaim your strength. So, let's dive in. For the narcissist, you may have seemed like just another chapter in their ever-revolving story. To them, you were a fleeting presence, someone to meet their needs, stroke their ego, and fit neatly into the web of their self-centered narrative. They didn't recognize the profound depth of your soul, the love you gave, the sacrifices you made, or the quiet endurance you showed. Blinded by their own insatiable hunger for validation, they failed to see you for who you truly are: extraordinary, resilient, and worthy of so much more than they could ever offer. But here's the twist: you were never just another chapter. No, you were the turning point. You weren't meant to fade quietly into their story. You were sent to rewrite it. A higher power placed you in their life with purpose, to challenge their illusions, dismantle their false sense of control, and disrupt the lies they told themselves. Every kind word you spoke, every act of love you offered, and every moment of patience you extended was part of a greater plan. Your role wasn't to remain in their world forever, but to shake it to its core. Narcissists rarely see the truth in the moment. To them, your love was something to control, manipulate, or discard when it no longer served their fragile ego. They couldn't grasp its purity, its selflessness, and in their failure to appreciate what they had, they unknowingly failed a silent test, a test of their capacity to grow, to change, to evolve. Your actions spoke volumes without you ever needing to utter a word. Your love, unwavering and genuine, became a mirror reflecting all they refused to confront about themselves. When you left, and yes, you were meant to leave, they were left grappling with the wreckage of their own choices. Confusion and regret consume them now as they wonder how they let you slip through their fingers. But here's the hard truth: they may never fully comprehend the magnitude of what they lost. They thought you'd always be there, a constant source of validation. They believed they could treat you however they pleased, and you'd still stay. But you weren't there to be there forever. You were there to teach them the lesson they had avoided for so long. Now, as they attempt to replace you, trying to fill the void you left behind, they'll come to realize the irreplaceable value of what they lost. No substitute will ever suffice. Your absence isn't just the loss of a person. It's the loss of a divine opportunity, the chance to grow, to become someone capable of meeting you halfway, of reciprocating the love you so freely gave. They squandered that chance, and now they must face the consequences of their own choices. But let's talk about you, because their regret is no longer your burden to bear. You're free now, free from their manipulations, their toxicity, and their endless demands. You're free to live the life you were always meant to live, unshackled and unbroken. And in your freedom, you can take solace in knowing this: you gave all that you had without losing yourself in the process. You were the storm that unsettled their carefully constructed world, the lesson they desperately needed but didn't want to learn. So, hold your head high. You didn't just survive your time with a narcissist, you transcended it. And while they may sit with the weight of their regrets for years to come, you can move forward knowing that you fulfilled your purpose. You were sent to challenge them, to awaken them, and to change the narrative they clung to. You weren't meant to stay, you were meant to rise. And rise you have. You see, God doesn't place His chosen ones in the lives of others merely to bring comfort or ease. It's not about smoothing over struggles or providing quick fixes. No, the purpose is far deeper, far more transformative. When God brings someone special into another's life, it's not to gift them with peace. It's to challenge them. It's a divine intervention meant to rattle their core, to shake them from their slumber. You were placed in their world, not to soften their existence, but to disrupt it. You were meant to make them uncomfortable, to force them to face the truths they'd been avoiding, their flaws, their bloated ego, their inability to love in a genuine, healthy way. You weren't there to ease their path. No, you were the catalyst for their growth, even if they resisted that transformation. You were the wake-up call they never wanted to hear, the one they needed but couldn't yet appreciate. Your presence in their life was never about fitting their desires or expectations. It was about challenging them, revealing truths they were terrified to face, truths they couldn't see as long as they remained trapped in their old toxic patterns. And when you left, that lesson was sealed. There was no escaping it anymore. You were the key, and your departure was the lock that closed the door to any chance for real change. Now they sit, heavy with the burden of their own choices. They replay each moment, every instance where they took you for granted, every time they neglected your love. They wonder, could I have treated you better? Could I have loved you deeper? But by the time they realize what they lost, it's far too late. That window of opportunity has closed. They missed their chance to change, to grow, and to meet you where you truly deserve to be met. The time for transformation was when you stood by them, offering your love and patience. They failed to see your value, and now, in the silence of your absence, they must face the bitter truth of the loss. They are left holding the consequences of their actions, regretting what they didn't do, the love they didn't give, the opportunity they let slip through their fingers. And as they spiral in regret, you are thriving. You've moved forward, stepping into your own power. And with that movement, the blessings that were always meant for you are beginning to flood your life. See, God doesn't send his chosen ones to merely stir discomfort or force confrontation. He also elevates them, rewards them, and fills their life with abundance once their mission is complete. You weren't sent just to awaken and challenge. You were meant to be elevated once your work was done. As they remain stuck in their cycle of regret, you are free to embrace your destiny, free to walk the path you were always meant to walk, and free to pursue the life that awaits you. You walk forward, glowing with the wisdom and strength earned through your trials, ready for whatever comes next. Meanwhile, the narcissist will try desperately to replace you. They will search high and low for someone who mirrors you, for someone who can replicate what they had with you. But deep down, they'll know it will never work. God doesn't create duplicates. You are unique, irreplaceable. You are a once-in-a-lifetime presence in their life, and no matter how hard they try, they'll never find anyone who can fill the space you left behind. They'll search for someone who looks like you, acts like you, feels like you, but it will always fall short. Their new relationships will be shallow, empty, because nothing can recreate what you brought into their life. Their success will feel hollow, their achievements empty, because they'll have no one to share them with in the same way. Their world will shrink. No matter how many people they surround themselves with, they'll always feel haunted by your absence. They'll carry the memory of you, even as they try to move on, and nothing will ever fill the void you left. In their quietest moments, when they can no longer distract themselves, the truth will rise to the surface. They won't be able to avoid it, no matter how much they try. Your love, your kindness, your unwavering presence will echo in their thoughts long after you're gone. Every time they find themselves alone, they'll be confronted with the weight of the mistake they made. And in those moments, the truth will cut deep. They had everything they needed to rise above their limitations, to become the better version of themselves. But instead of growing, they chose to stay trapped in their toxic patterns. They allowed their fear and pride to control them, to stay stuck in self-destructive cycles. And now they must live with the knowledge that the opportunity to change was right in front of them, and they let it slip away. But here's the most profound truth of all. This isn't about seeking revenge. It's not about punishing them for the hurt they caused you or the damage they inflicted on your heart. No, it's about something far more powerful. This is about justice. It's the universe's way of restoring balance, of setting the scales right. Everything they took from you, whether it was your love, your trust, or your time, they will lose in the end. What you so freely gave, what you poured into them without expectation, will come back to you, multiplied 100-fold. You've done the work. You've endured the trials, and now the time has come for you to rise. The universe is aligning for you, and the blessings that were always meant for you are beginning to flow into your life. Those lessons you imparted, whether they were ever truly understood or not, are now coming full circle. And while they are forced to reckon with their own choices, you will move forward, unburdened by their past actions, toward the bright future that awaits you. As they sit trapped in their regret, unable to find solace or peace, you'll continue walking, unstoppable, walking in your purpose, freed from the chains that once bound you. Your strength will shine like a beacon, lighting the way for those with the courage to walk the path of growth and transformation. Your journey, the trials you've overcome, will inspire others walking a similar road. You were never meant to blend in, to hide in the shadows. You were always meant to stand out, to shine brightly for the world to see. And now, as you embrace your true self, that light is undeniable. Your life has a purpose far greater than the limited narratives others try to impose on you. You were meant to teach, to guide, to show them what real love looks like, even if they couldn't see it at the time. And now, as you continue on your journey, marching toward your destiny, they are left behind, burdened with the painful realization that they couldn't meet your standard. They couldn't rise to the occasion. They couldn't step up to be the person you needed them to be. Ultimately, they couldn't keep you. You were too real, too pure, too much for their fragile ego. And even if they convinced themselves otherwise, deep down, they know they failed. They know they let the most significant person in their life slip through their fingers. But you're not looking back. You're not waiting for them to catch up. You're not offering them a second chance. You've learned everything you needed to learn, and the best part of your journey is still ahead. You're walking into a future full of promise, potential, and love. Love that is authentic, love that is deserving of you, love that will nourish your soul in ways they never could. As you step into your purpose and embrace your true calling, you'll carry with you the knowing that the lesson was never meant for you to internalize, to suffer, or to endure endlessly. No, the lesson was always for them. The universe gave them the opportunity to change, to rise, to meet you halfway, but they failed the test. Now the weight of their regrets is theirs to bear, not yours. They will carry the consequences of their decisions, the pain of their failure, and the knowledge that they could have had something beautiful, something rare, but let it slip away. You're free. Free to pursue your dreams, free to embrace the love that's waiting for you, free to live the life you deserve. Let them regret. Let them learn that that's no longer your burden. You are moving forward, and nothing, no one, can change that. Thank you for joining me today on this powerful journey. Remember this, you are not just a chapter in someone else's story. You are the turning point. Stay strong. Stay true to your purpose. Keep shining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful discussions. And always remember, your worth is not defined by others. It is defined by your own strength, resilience, and divine purpose. Keep moving forward, chosen one. Your best days are ahead.